And we're started.
We're doing it live.
These never start the way I want them to. Never gonna happen on my life.
Did I say wait my hot pocket on when you hit go?
I think they might have stopped it, so I think you let them know either way. So anyway.
Yep, it was on there. I just saw it.
Whatever, we don't need to get something happened. A lot happened actually to where it took us a good 20 minutes to get started, but we've got, as far as the Q&As go, I don't think any of the four of you were on a Q&A before, were you?
No.
Nope. I worked the last time.
Okay, got it. The four of you are new to Q&As, and Fox and Clover are brand new to streaming, period. So I'm quite excited to have all these people here. Quarantine sucks. I'm one of the people, I can't remember who all in here is considered essential, or as they labeled me, critical infrastructure.
Right here.
Okay, so we got three of us.
I mean, Lazen's still working because I'm still working.
Oh, you're still working. Okay, so four of the five of us are still working. Anybody watching this, quarantine sucks. So we wanted to try and do a Q&A again. We're trying to do it monthly to have something to do to hang out because we can't leave our freaking houses. All right, so we're going to be doing this Q&A. We have a lot of questions this time. Don't know how many we're going to get through. If people check out, leave early, that's all fine. We'll see. All right, so to get started, I'm basically just going to call people's random names.
Oh, dear.
And then if I forget someone, please let me know because it's likely going to happen. All right, so
even with 3-person chat.
You just shush. All right, to the one single question we got from someone on the page because the algorithms are being screwed up since this whole Corona thing happened. We have from Curtis Jensen. After the whole crap, I totally missed part of his question in making this. His question was, what do we think of his favorite character, Penny? After the whole Winter Maiden scene with Penny, do you guys think that she has hit the point of Pinocchio becoming a real girl? Why or why not? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Clover, go nuts.
All right. Well, I would say yes, just because it's been following, even if it's loosely and not to an exact point of the story, but loosely following the whole fairy tale aspect. Penny has been the closest one that the whole thing has been following. And I would say that, yeah, it can be a step closer since she's inherited the Winter Maiden power. That's more of like the Blue Fairy granting her wish for being a real girl. It's just what we'll see what goes on with her actually trying to control it, and if she even really wants the power or has, the responsibility. See how that weighs in on her and her conscience.
To mention they actually have the damn whale.
Yeah, and the whale. And her possibly maybe going inside the whale and then busting out of it and then killing it that way.
Doing the Incredible Hulk here?
Okay, well, it's like she's the one where they went from 0 to 100 in nailing everything about her.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Instead of it being loosely based, it's been like pretty accurate with her.
Yeah. All right. This one is a pretty much cut and dry. Does anyone have any ulterior opinions on it? Or is
I
that
think
one
she's
pretty...
becoming a real girl.
I'm
real.
it actually, I don't know if she's gonna keep the. What the fuck was that? Sorry. I don't know if she's gonna. I'm playing Minecraft.
Language.
I don't know if she's gonna keep Fox very long. I kind of have a feeling that something's gonna happen. Something's gonna go horribly wrong, and they're gonna get stolen from her because we know how Salem is, and we know how Cinder is, and we know they're both alive. So, and also, and yeah, I bad feelings, bad vibe.
How about you, Fox?
No, it just makes me wonder, like, what'll happen just because, like, she's originally based off her father's aura, right? So, like, how does that affect him, her being the Winter Maiden and all that? Something to think about.
The way I understand it, I could be completely freaking wrong. I believe that once it's just off of him, it's just aura.
Yeah, it is.
I think. And then it's kind of just
that would make sense, but
in her. The only thing that's going to affect, and I've told Raven this, I don't think I've told anybody else. It would seem like a lot to me if they killed her, if Penny got deactivated somehow again.
Well, I mean, aren't they in the system?
Well,
like if she to me, Pietro, after last time, she's probably on a server that only he knows about.
Oh yeah.
Because, and again, small tangent, if they could hack Penny in the first place, they wouldn't have needed to go to the trouble to have Tyrion kill people, then map Penny's movements over him to make it look like Penny did all of it when they could have just literally had Penny do all of it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
But the only way I could see like it affecting Pietro, which I'm going to tell you right now, you would hear me crying countrywide if this happens because I'm a big surrogate father supporter. If she goes off again, they've openly said that if he pretty much gives an order again, that he's going to be.
He's done. He's done so.
That'd be the only way I would see it affecting him again, because if he gives it up again, I'm pretty sure he's going to. But yeah. All right. That I don't think we got any extra to add to that one.
No, I think we kind of that was good. That was a really good one.
All right. So we'll get the last one of Curtis's out of the way. And Fox, we'll start with you on this one. Do you think that Team Ruby will become the 4 maidens at any point? Why or why not?
So it's always seemed like it's been insinuated that that could or would happen. I think if it does, it would take several seasons worth of quite a bit of time. It's not just going to happen in a single season or anything like that, but there's enough lining up to make it seem reasonably possible.
Okay. Velvet.
I think the only way for I think the only way for Yang to become a maiden is if Raven dies. So I think they'd have to write that into the season is for Raven to die in order for Yang to become a maiden. Well, look. Here's why I say that, because Raven goes like, "Oh, I've been an awful mother, yada yada yada, blah blah blah," and then she's always so emotional about Yang, and probably I always feel like that if she were to die, her last thought would be Yang. Which we'd like to think that. It probably won't happen, but we'd like to think that. The other ones, I mean, Weiss had a shot, and then Penny existed, and then Blake, there's not really a power that fits her. And then Ruby's already got that pre-Nito split up with the Silver Eyes. So, I mean, I doubt she's going to get anything because she's already got the special ability with the Silver Eyes and such. So I don't know. I don't think. Yeah, that's just I don't think.
All right, I'll go next. The way that I've thought about this, and it's only come up recently because me and Am and Crow were talking about it, was I have no freaking idea exactly how the show is going to end, because it's going to, in my opinion, somehow the gods are going to come back. They're going to evaluate humanity, whatever, if all that goes away. The only way I thought that would be a really cool way to, like, kind of reroute the whole it goes to the next person they think of hullabaloo is if, let's say, the gods reevaluate everything, they'll let humanity live on and all the humanity and Faunus, but they realize that people are still going to be douchebags regardless. Evil people are going to come up. And then the main 4 people in their eyes that were at the head of trying to fix everything were these 4. So then the gods just go, and they ask them if they would want to take on the responsibility of protecting Remnant. And then they're made by the gods to be the new maidens. That to me would kind of swerve around the whole lineage thing.
Yeah, but the gods didn't make the maidens in the first place, though.
I know, but I bet the gods could.
Yeah.
Technically, wasn't it a god?
Because technically, according to the fairy tale, Oz did. If you believe Oz was the old dude in the thing.
And didn't Oz get his power from the nice god?
Yeah, and
so
if
technically a god made the maidens.
Yeah, so it's like at the end, if the gods wanted to do it, the gods just could, because or whatever. But Raven, go ahead.
Okay, my mind just thought this now because something popped up in my background on my other computer. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Ruby could gain all 4 maiden powers because she has connection. She has some sort of connection, except for the Summer Maiden. She has some sort of strange connection with each of the maidens, like with Cinder. Cinder's always seems to be thinking about Ruby and killing her. You never know, she could die and she get the power. Penny, obviously, best friend.
Yeah.
Raven, for some reason, will probably think of Summer, which will think of Ruby. And then if my fan theory goes of Summer being the Summer Maiden and Summer dies, power gets passed on.
That could be. That would be OP. as
Avatar:
well.
Last Airbender.
That would be OP. We haven't. That'll be something for. That's a whole nother tangent for another question. That'll go on for a while because I've never seen a distinction between the actual powers of the maidens. They all kind of seem to have the same thing, depending on
But I
what
think of
fight
it as
scene
like
you
the
watch.
season. Like the seasons also kind of represent the different elements. Fire with the Fall
Kind of,
Maiden.
yeah.
I get that, but both Raven and
Winter.
Cinder had ice swords at one point.
Dust.
Well, they had swords.
what I-
whether or
that's
not
what
they
I-
were eyes.
Yeah,
Dust in the wind.
it was all that. But oh crap, we've got comments. I didn't see that. Oh
crap, we do?
Our Jean admin's in here. Oh, I like this. Ooh.
Oh.
John, which one were you
Thank you,
commenting on?
John.
Because I don't know which one. But
It's
Clover, go ahead.
I think it's a possibility. We just don't have. I don't think we have enough information on that to point towards all the girls being maidens. Like the strong possibilities are Yang and Ruby. Ruby, foremost, if her mother's still alive and is possibly a maiden, if she finally dies, then she could pass that on to Ruby, assuming that she would be obviously in her final thoughts. And same for Yang. If since Raven is a spring maiden, she could pass on that spring power to Yang if she dies, or if she intervenes somehow, helping them out or deciding to finally come in and help her instead of running and hiding. Then it's definitely a possibility. But for Blake and Weiss, that's a lot harder to think about unless, like, say Penny dies and she sees Weiss, and then that would pass on to Weiss, you know. And in
Penny
Blake, I
would
have
make a
no
logical
clue.
thought.
It's
Penny
just
would make a logical
for
thought.
yeah, and for Blake, I'm not sure because she doesn't have as much evidence for any of the maidens or any linkage to any of them.
In my head, if something happens with Blake and it's not what I thought, somehow Blake is going to be is basically part of the head, if not of the head of the new quote unquote Fang, White Fang, whatever Faunus. She's going to be basically a Faunus ambassador type thing. If there's something like that, that's one other thing I thought that can end up with her. And she has like less than no connections to a maiden right now.
Exactly.
Also, to be fair, we don't know much about that last maiden either, though.
That is true. That is very true. We haven't gotten to our 3 volumes of Bakuo yet.
And we've only seen what? Fall,
spring,
You've seen
and
3.
winter.
Did he spring?
You haven't seen Summer yet.
Yeah, that was Raven.
No Summer.
Yeah, Raven spring.
Oh, right. Duh. I knew
Summer is the missing one.
Yep. Literally and figuratively.
That. We talked about that earlier.
So it should be easy enough for them to connect it if they really want to, just because that hasn't been set up quite yet.
Yeah, I think that they're very closely trying to tie their stuff in like what I want to say blocks of info as they can. They're not trying to jam too much. They're being very careful about how when we get there, we'll cover that thing. Here we'll cover this thing. And it's good because they technically like to introduce a lot of stuff and then to a lot of people's chagrin, not talk about it later. So, but either way, we'll do one of our non-Ruby questions next.
Oh, yay.
Here, this one. What is your single favorite food item or meal to eat?
Can I go first?
What's that?
Can I go?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right, so I am from a city called Rochester, New York, and we are about 15 minutes from Lake Ontario, and we have this lovely food item called the garbage plate. So it's basically cheeseburgers, mac salad, home fries, all piled on top of each other with ketchup, this thing called meat hot sauce, onions, mustard, you name it, you can put it on there, and it's heaven in your mouth.
Sounds like diabetes.
Well, then.
Sounds awesome.
A lot of
That sounds
calories.
like
at once.
clogged arteries right there. That's all I heard.
That does sound like death pretty quickly.
But it's tasteful death, and your
Yeah,
body will thank you.
I mean, die happy. What else could you ask for?
That is
Exactly.
true.
But
All right.
if you're ever upstate New York, ask for a garbage plate. They'll likely know what you're talking
Can't
about.
really go there right now.
I mean, when this is over.
When this is over. All right, Raven, go ahead.
Oh, you guys already saw mine. I'm just sitting here eating French fries. Clover knows I love them to death.
You do.
I love French fries.
All right, we'll
Make you
move on.
happy.
If that
Give you
was,
French fries.
we'll move on if that was
Feed
it.
me French fries.
Okay, what is the best French? Who has the best French fries?
Five Guys.
Five Guys.
Correct answer. Correct answer.
That
Because
was
they just
ingenious.
fill a bag full of French fries. They fill a cup and then fill the bag.
We
Now they
do.
have milkshakes,
I
so
ate.
mean, like,
I went on a work trip for the company that I worked for to the Carolinas to do a repair job at an apartment complex. I'd never eaten Five Guys before. I've always heard of it.
what?
And the guys didn't tell me anything about the ordering. So then we get up and I'm like, I want a large fry and a drink. And then all of a sudden I have 50 pounds worth of a bag coming back with me. And I'm like,
It's like,
what
oh,
the hell? And they're at the table laughing at me. I'm like, what? He's like, well, we didn't tell you. I'm like, no, I have 4 meals worth of fries here.
take it home.
God,
Ty, I'd be laughing at you too. Honestly, I would.
it was ridiculous. We ate there like 6 times while we stayed there. It was great. And we finally got one an hour away, like 3 or 4 months ago. It's the best. All right, Fox, go
There's
ahead.
one 5 minutes down the street from me.
You suck.
My favorite food or item or meal. It's kind of tied between okonomiyaki and like Japanese ramen, like from Japan.
Nice. You and my
Oh,
roommate
and
get
man.
along very, very well.
I mean, like I lived over there for a couple years, and you start to enjoy the food. That's certainly true.
Nice. I have the American version of that answer, but I'll go last because it's really lame. Clover, go ahead.
Fried rice for me. I do love Japanese food and Asian food in general, but probably fried rice.
Nice.
Mhm.
I think
The
Raven's
guy
a
who
little
always
shocked
gets
by that.
chow mein when we
A
go
little
to
bit. Hey, that's part of like the goodness, but they don't have good fried rice in my opinion. It's just awful.
They
so
don't, but I always
All
get
right.
it.
it's just plain. It has like no flavor.
Mine, well, to complete this a little bit, I'll go off of the artery clogging first.
Hey.
Sorry. When I was in Chicago, or I should say Gurney, technically, there was a place called Twisted Burger. It was very old school. It had like, you typed out the ticket, they put it on a clipboard and winged it back on a wire. There was like no, it was very, very old school. And it's one of those places where every burger is custom.
Ooh.
And curry with, ooh, hold on. That's not bad. All right, but they had specialty burgers. This is the first burger I ever had where they had to put the toothpick in it because it would fall apart in your plate. It was called the heart. It was called the Heart Attack, and it was a half-pound patty with nacho cheese on top of it, and then American cheese, and then another type of cheese on top of that, and then the bun. It was placed in between 2 grilled cheese sandwiches.
What?
Jesus.
It was awesome.
You ate that?
My heart.
Bruh.
I know. I had clogged. I could feel my arteries clogging when I ordered it.
I
But,
gained a pound just hearing you describe it.
Yeah. But my favorite meal that I could eat all the time, if I was able to, was just shrimp lo mein with teriyaki chicken. It's the best. It's awesome. All right. Now that's okay. This is basically another question that we have, but now that we have it from an admin. Besides Ruby, what other shows / anime do you like? That'll knock off 2 questions from the other one. So
Ooh, I have lots.
I'll go first. My favorite anime, as everyone knows, this is the here. I'll at least get the collector's edition.
Oh God, I'm scared. I know this.
I'm
Just
not
gotta
one
open
for
up the
spending a lot
library,
on
yeah.
collector's editions as far as Blu-rays go. And Crow was with me when I bought this. I brought a grand to Anime Milwaukee when we went, and I've been looking at this online. It was $600, and we came across it. It was $500. This is the collector's edition, like top of the line, best series you can get for Gurren Lagann. This thing cost me $500.
God?
Ooh.
24 collector's edition Blu-rays, 2 different art books, unseen episodes, and like unseen concept art and all that for the show. That, if you want to get it on Amazon, will cost you about $70 in shipping and another $100 versus what I bought it. That thing is beefy. But other than that, I would suggest we'll clump this all into one. Your favorite anime, regular show that's not an anime, and a movie you would suggest. I'm getting rid of like. Well, this is like a bunch of questions that are in the other thing, but I would suggest Supernatural.
Too hard.
I'm kind of a fan.
Yeah.
And then if you have not seen it for a movie, Tucker and Dale versus Evil is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. It is not racial stereotyping, but just stereotyping, period, for comedic sake to the max. It is about Alan Tudyk and I can't think of the other guy's name. He's only ever been in this movie and then one show on HBO that I did not watch about being a ghost whisperer. There are two rednecks that move out to a vacation home. It's a torn down cabin that he got for dirt cheap. And then 6 college kids go camping next to them. The college kids think they're psycho murderers, and they think the college kids are irritating. So the start of this movie is that one of the college kids is swimming and accidentally knocks her head and falls in the lake. And then the 2 rednecks try to be nice and fish her out. And then the kids see her getting pulled into the boat. So then they run off to their friends thinking that she's being kidnapped.
Oh my God.
So then it just spirals out of control from there. It's hilarious. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Go watch it. All right. Fox, go ahead.
All right, so it was favorite show, favorite anime, and recommended movie.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically recommendations in all 3 of them.
Gotcha. Okay, my favorite anime of all time is probably Toradora.
Okay.
That one, I've watched that one several times. I always enjoyed it. It's just one of those things that I can go back to and just laugh at, or just, I don't know, chill and watch. Yeah, and I didn't watch a whole lot of anime before I went to Japan, and since then it's been like try and keep up the language best I can because there aren't a whole lot of Japanese people to speak to around here, so gotta keep it up somehow. But yeah, that one's probably my favorite anime. Other than that, and kind of falls into movie as well. Your Name was really good.
Nice.
Your Name is probably my favorite movie as well. And I know it's both anime and movie, but
Hey, it works, man.
I guess that counts. And then let's see, TV show. Shoot, I don't watch a whole lot of American TV. I see more foreign stuff mostly. I was trying to think of this earlier too. I'm not really sure. I don't watch a whole lot.
You got an answer. That's fine. We can skip over it.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything actually. Like I know I've seen American stuff and I've seen like some good stuff, but like what would I recommend? What did I like watching? I can't think of anything at the moment.
It's all good. Clover, go ahead.
For anime, there's a lot. Ancient Magnus Bride, if anyone has seen that one, that's a really good one. Story-wise, that's fantastic and it's beautiful for the animation. Movie-wise, what's up?
That's surprised you didn't go Castlevania.
That's a great one too. That would be like a second, like a really close second. Castlevania is great. Check that out as well. It's on Netflix. For a movie, Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, fantastic. Love that movie. And for American TV show, let's see, probably Supernatural. I have to go with you on that one, just because it's hard to think of a bunch of others at the top of my head right now.
Nice.
So Supernatural.
All right, awesome. Raven, go ahead.
Let's see, favorite anime. Oh God, why do you ask me that question? I don't know. We'll start with TV show. The Flash. I love The Flash.
Nice.
Movie I would recommend. It is completely off the radar. It was made in 2003, called The Core. Something different in my repertoire.
What is that
Aaron
about?
Eckhart. It's where they go to the center of the earth to restart it because the core of the earth has stopped spinning.
Okay, all right. I have seen that. It sounded familiar.
It was stupid, but it was good. I kept watching it all the time. I still watch it. And I guess anime-wise, I'm just going to go Tailspin. Old school Tailspin. The bear, the Jungle Book characters.
Tailspin's a freaking bad. I wanted that freaking board that he sailed on off the back of the ship. That was the coolest damn thing when I was younger. Oh, Tailspin's
Well, just Summer would let you know that it would be DuckTales for her. and they're about to bring in the characters from Tailspin into the new series DuckTales. Coming up very soon.
Oh, good lord, Disney's doing everything right. All right.
Yeah. So those are my 3.
Velvet, go ahead.
I don't really watch a lot of TV. I mostly watch. So for anime, I'm gonna have to go with Cory in the House. Okay.
The meme is not dead.
No. I don't really watch a lot of anime. Animals. It's really just. I mean, I won't say Fairy Tail's a favorite, but I mean, I watch it. It's pretty.
All right.
Not bad. I mostly watch like. I'm sorry. My favorite anime is NCIS.
Anime is, I didn't know NCIS was animated now.
It is now because I said so. Dibs with big anime eyes.
Good lord.
Dude, yes. I approve.
Good lord. All right.
Anyway, and then what else is there? The Grand Tour with Jimmy Clarkson, Richard Hammond, and James May. That's a pretty good show. I like watching them do dumb stuff. It's always fun. Did you watch Seamen? The Grand Tour presents Seamen, spelled SEAMEN.
I love the needed clarification. I got you. Don't worry.
Yeah, just so you know.
That was awesome. I cannot say that I have. I don't watch
Pretty good.
TV much anymore outside of the CW. I got rid of cable. So
Clarkson drives a jet boat, a PBR, into Vietnam. Hammond drives a boat straight out of Miami Vice, and James May drives a little tiny boat cruiser from the 1930s into like this massive sea out of Vietnam. It's fantastic. It's hilarious. And if you have Amazon Prime, you should go watch it.
nice.
Oh, The Boys is a good TV show.
Oh,
Now I
Speaking
think
of
of it,
Amazon
Psych. Psych is fantastic as well. I love
That's
Psych.
pretty good. You know?
There are a lot of shows.
one of my best friends here in town is obsessed with Psych. And who's the I can't think of his name. The white main character in Psych. Can't think of his name.
Sean.
Yeah,
James.
Spencer.
Our
Yeah,
worship
Sean
director,
Spencer.
our worship director at church looks identical to him. It is frightening. But while I'm looking for our next question, if any of you have answers for that, go ahead. I don't.
Me.
Go ahead.
So it's more series wise. I've got 3 of them. Because I'm a girl, 2 of them are more girl side. But The Princess Diaries, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and because I'm currently reading the series The Witcher.
Yes. Thumbs up to that one.
You went. If a woman was going to suggest books she reads, you went in the top 2 that I knew you were gonna freaking say. I knew it.
It's not like I have them all sitting on my bookshelf next to me.
Dang it. All right. Anybody else?
Witcher. I have to recommend Witcher.
Nice.
You haven't read it yet. I haven't given you all the books yet.
I'm in the process of reading it.
All right. Fox, you have one?
As I finish them.
Yeah, no, Aragon's a really good one if you want to just sit down and read about
Ooh,
dragons. Dragons are
yes.
cool.
What was your opinion on the movie?
Mm.
Movie's terrible. We don't talk about the movie.
All right.
There was a movie?
If you've
Yeah.
never read the books, then maybe
there
the
was a
movie could be good. I don't know. But I'd read the books, so the movie was absolutely like a dumpster fire. Like it's honestly almost worse than Avatar.
Oh God. Oh no.
So
God, don't.
it is on
No.
the same level of terribleness.
Oh no. That's not good.
Yeah. No. So definitely skip that one if you
Ugh.
see that anymore.
All right. You got one, Velvet?
Look.
If you don't, that's fine. We can skip to a different
Yeah,
question.
I mean, Mila's a good one.
What was that?
Mila, Mila. It's about this like, the synths from Fallout.
Yes.
It's like that, but not Fallout. It's pretty good.
Oh, nice. Thought it was an autobiographical tale of the hit star from the Resident Evil and soon-to-be Monster Hunter movies, Mila Jovovich. One of the few people that like those Resident Evil movies. I acknowledge they're terrible, but I still like them. But all right.
Okay. Resident
We'll
Evil.
do
I love Resident Evil. I love up until like I'd say my favorite is the second movie,
That's my
Apocalypse,
favorite as well.
because it's like the closest to the game that we got.
It is pretty much 3. There is some
Yeah.
stupid crap. How they, slight tangent, how they built that wall around Raccoon City in
In the
roughly
time.
3 hours.
Yup. In the time they did, and
I-
we're missing Leon and Claire. I'm so sad. And then later on we get Leon quotation marks on that for
don't
in
worry,
like
we
the
got
5th one.
quotation marks Barry as well too.
Yeah, exactly. Disappointment.
Yeah, we'll
That's
get
what it
into
is.
what we'll get into that later. Trust
But
me.
they're
That's a good
entertaining.
question. Yeah, they are entertaining, and the guy looked like Leon. I'll give them that. All right.
True.
What is your favorite Grimm? I will go first because I actually have one that is for something else, but I gotta get my answers up here. I actually haven't been going off that. I got on my second monitor. Where was that? Favorite Grimm. The one that is legit most terrifying to me is probably the Lancer. Because it's fast as hell and it can fire stingers off of it. And I am not terrified of bees, but if a bee was the size of a small single-story building and was chasing after me, that's terrifying. But the one I will say, because it is from something that me and Admin Crow are working on, I will bring up one that me and him made. That is basically the Grimm version of a rhino.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, that is something that takes out a main character of ours and puts her in a coma for a month. So
That is
we've
epic.
got, thank you. We got a couple other ones. That was that guy there. He is DeviantArt is Demise Zero. He does commissions and he does amazing work. So if anyone is interested, the guy does awesome work and he's open to doing commissions. I need to stop screen share. Why are you doing that? Stop that. Why are you this way? Why are you doing this? What is going on?
He's so tiny in the corner.
Why is it doing that? What did I do? Why is it still
Technology.
was canceled? Make sure you click share on the module and not the cancel. Are we still? Why is it doing this? Why is it doing? There we go.
Yay.
My goodness.
There we go.
Oh, I clicked cancel on the video and not the thing here. So when you're doing the screen share, sometimes it zaps weird if you don't cancel on screen share. All right, back. Clover, go ahead.
Well, for most like terrifying Grimm, I would have to say the Apathy, just because of what they can do. But my favorite, I have to go old fashioned with this and be like Beowulf, because
Nice.
it's great. It's a werewolf. Come on, it's classic. Yeah, the whole aspect of Little Red Riding Hood and all that. Just love it. One of my favorite fairy tales.
Nice.
I apologize. Do you mind if I jump in? I have to. I'm gonna do this last question. I got a dip. I forgot. I made plans with my friends.
Oh, yeah, that's fine, man. Go ahead.
So favorite Grimm. I saw that, Raven. Honestly, the Apathy. That's pretty freaking neato. How it's just and then they're all sad.
Cool.
So I mean, yeah, the Apathy's pretty cool. All right, sorry to dip early. I'll make sure to block my time better next time.
It's
have a
all
good
good, man. Stuff happens.
Bye, Velvet.
Bye.
See you later. All right, and it was down to 4. All right, Fox, go ahead.
I do have to concur with Clover here. Beowulf was pretty cool. Probably for a little different reason. I don't necessarily care for werewolves as a species and whatever. They're cool, but like there are lots of cool things out here. Specifically, why I like Beowulf is because I've seen some really cool art for it, but 2, it was like those original trailers before the show started coming out, and watching like the Red trailer in particular was one of the coolest introductions to the show I think they could have possibly done.
Oh yeah.
And like that being like the origin story for Ruby in a way, like the show, the character, all of everything. It feels like it's really connected like really well to the show, and I don't know, I just enjoy them. They're cool.
Oh yeah, that is one of, if not the best choreographed thing they've ever put together for that show. It's nuts. That is in many
Quite
AMVs
bit
for a
more
good
graphic
reason.
as well. Yeah, they were quite a bit more graphic in those early trailers compared to like now, where they just kind of rose pedal everything.
Yeah, it's They're getting better. Like, we actually have blood now. That shocks me.
Yeah.
We have like
Don't
legit blood pool.
remind me.
They have improved so much.
Yeah.
And yes,
Don't
Alright.
remind me of the blood.
I was going to bring up someone else just to spare you your anguish. Go ahead, Raven.
Oh God. I would go with the saber-tooth tigers.
I think they were
All
just called
those?
sabers. I think. Keep talking.
Well,
Look it up.
they look like saber-tooth tiger. Whatever. They look like saber-tooth tigers, like what you see in old drawings and all that. That I don't know. I just like cats, so any cat like Grim.
Yeah, they were called
I would just like to see a
sabers,
simple
but
house cat.
saber with a Y instead of an E.
Not confusing at all.
No.
But yeah, I like any cat type things. So even if I see a little Grim house cat, that would be really cute. But yeah, the sabers.
That's awesome. Now I'm just imagining, because it made me think of Salem, and then now I'm thinking of Salem from the original Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So I'm imagining that an animatronic cat, but part Grim.
Yes.
Good Lord. All right. All right.
Or we just come across Ty having a Grim's cat in his house now.
I
He's so
have
lonely.
the black cat that looks exactly like Salem, except I nicknamed him Slade because every animal we've ever owned has an S name. Don't know what started it. He's named after Slade from DC Comics, and he's as clumsy as hell. So skillful assassin, stupid idiot cat that can barely walk straight. Worked that one out well. All right. Here.
Next question.
Non-plot aspects of the show. I'll go first. Fairy tales. I like, and it's not fairy tales just in general. I like that they have that based around people and they're making characters based off of stuff. I like that in like games where, like God of War, where they're like, let's throw Kratos into Greek, and now we're throwing him into Norse, and you make a big story out of these things, and you have to wait for when that cool thing comes up. You're like, holy crap, they're based off of that thing, and you see how they can adapt it and whatever. And I like adaptive tales, stuff like that. And then another thing, basically anything that's kind of like, the closest thing I could say is X-Men, where it's just that character's cool because they could do blank. That character's cool because they could do whatever. And then you making individual stuff out of characters. I like shows more that isn't just like Soldier A, Soldier B, and they both do blank and blank, and that they're not that far apart. Shows that distinguish each character good, and a good way of showing it's actually something different and not just a copy and paste job. So like that I like, and teamwork's another kind of aspect, stuff like that, close relationship, stuff like that. It's basic things. It's not too complicated of an answer, but yeah, that's just me. Raven, go ahead.
I like any show that has high school kind of setting to it.
Yeah.
So going back to like that X-Men Evolution, where it was all set in high school.
Oh, so good.
And also X-Men Evolution, good show.
It is.
But yeah.
It's amazing.
childhood.
X-Men Evolution was amazing. All right. Fox, go ahead.
Favorite non-plot aspects. I do have to say I've never been super big into superpowers as a whole, or superheroes or whatnot, but I do really like semblances and the way that they connect, like not just as like a power that each character has that makes them unique, but how closely it is linked to their personality or like who they are and like the like beliefs and whatnot.
Nice.
But I feel like it's a way to make character development visible and like really cool. So I've always enjoyed that one. Let's see.
That's it.
Just got really
Over
quiet
and out.
all of a sudden.
There it goes. All of us went to waiting bars one after another. I'm like, oh no. Everyone understand while we're doing this, everybody else is stuck at home on quarantine. They're using this app as well. So if we get random dropouts, everyone's using the big old thing called the internet. So we're gonna experience
Yeah.
And it runs slow.
it. Do we have gig internet at this house through our connection, and it's still lagging a little bit. So it's really pumping the juice to get everyone what they want. All right, Clover, go ahead.
Going off of pretty much what you guys said, the fairy tale aspect and the uses of those stories within just just hitting up with the whole story of Ruby, and then I'd have to say the use of semblances and how the whole superpower idea and how that creates a personality for a character, I think is fantastic. And having a character have multiple layers to their whole personality in general, like for example, having Yang being like this party girl in the beginning, and then she's actually a loving and caring person later on, and has all these layers to them. Same with everyone else, and obviously my favorite man, Crow. Hopefully more character development, but yeah, just that aspect is done beautifully, I think.
Great.
If you need someone to explain Crow to you in detail, ask Clover. He spent hours telling me once about
I
Crow.
analyze every detail.
I don't have a crush.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
All right.
Fangirling down there.
Here,
Always 24/7.
We'll do one. I'm not gonna go and get my Red Queen from the other room, but I'll get part of what I would use for this.
Hold on.
Why I'm not getting the Red Queen, because it would not fit in frame, because that sword is 6.5 feet long, so it would not work properly. But she's gonna go grab the blue rose that I sent her.
I think you and I grabbed the same one.
We did. So I am a big fan of DMC, as are at least Raven and Clover. I don't know if you are. She got that for me, for everybody who does not know. I have the other. This is the third blue rose that I got for my cosplay. But blue rose I would use along with Red Queen, which is Nero's sword. Yes, they do great work. It's just that it's got 2 chambers, one for piercing and one for the actual damage once the armor breaks. And then the Red Queen is a sword with a combustion engine on it to help the swings faster, because you can rev it up and then use the momentum. Yes, it does make sense, science people. Oh, no, it doesn't. But yeah, it's a great combination of 2 weapons, and I just love it. I fell in love with Nero because of it. It's a great setup. Beating the piss out of someone weapon, and then the somewhat distance weapon if you need it. That's what I would use. Fox, go ahead.
So the thing that comes up to mind immediately is probably like the Keyblade, just because it seems versatile enough to just kind of work with whatever situations you need, change it around and whatnot.
Nice.
Plus, it's always kind of cool. Just like beat the crap out of somebody with a giant key. Why not?
I like that.
You
got another one, or are you good?
No, I think that's it. That's the only thing that came to mind. I mean, okay. I'm sure I could come up with other answers, but
it's all good. I just you kept talking when you're going on, so I didn't know if you had another one. That's all good. Clover, go ahead.
Probably Dante's sword. Going off of Devil May Cry weapons.
would it be Rebellion or Devil Sword Dante?
Let's go with Rebellion. I do like the style with it. Okay. So,
all right.
Something off the top of my head, since there's probably way more, but drawing blanks.
No, it's all good. It's just that I have heated debates with anyone whenever I bring up DMC weapons ever since Devil Sword Dante came out, where everyone is just like they cannot pick if they like Rebellion or that better. I'm good with either. It's just that now that Dante has summoned swords with Devil Sword Dante, I'm like, he's basically Virgil now. I'm like, ah! But yeah. Raven, go ahead.
Well, you already saw one of them, so I pulled out mine too.
Oh, I know. Did you have anything else to go along with that? Or?
A lightsaber. Just a lightsaber.
Didn't they say non-OP?
Yeah. I tried my best for non-OP. Lightsabers are... Oh, man, yeah.
I can't think of anything else.
For non-OP, the last time I put this on the page, someone tried putting Pandora from DMC 5 or from 4, which is a gun that has 666 configurations of I said not OP. Come on here,
not
people.
OP. Okay, got it. You mean the most OP weapon
ever? It turns into a glaive, to a bazooka, to a mobile SAM sight, to a just you didn't understand my question. All right. All right. Let's see.
I can't think, because if you look at the most popular shows out there that we all watch, there's a weapon that's OP. So
now I think about it. Morning Star.
Ayazawa
There you go.
There you go.
And then when you look at it that way, what do you think the most OP weapon from Ruby would be? Maybe an entirely different question, but
That's a good question. We'll do that
Clover,
one next.
I wonder what it would be. Oh, Clover, what would it be?
You know my answer. It's biased. It's Harbinger because scythe, shotgun,
I'm trying to honestly
great sword.
I mean, it's
I'm
proven to be effective.
I'm trying to
Very
honestly
true.
think OP.
Whatever Tai Yang's weapon is, because I'm still waiting to know what it is.
That's
Telling you,
dad-
it's going to be
it's dad
gauntlets
jokes.
or it's going to be
dad.
it's dad.
Or what Carrie told me
I do
is
think
his
Or brass
dad's
Sun's
answer.
knuckles.
is pretty powerful.
What was that?
Sun's weapon is pretty crazy.
Sons is
Sun
yeah.
still exists?
He still does. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna wing up the freaking weapons list over here. All right, Ruby.
I thought you'd do
No.
your OC's weapon.
Oh, my
That's-
OC's weapon. It is a cool weapon, but in my opinion, it's not OP. I can bring that up just to. Oh my gosh, spelling is not my strong suit today, or speaking. Goodness gracious. Are you serious? List of weapons. Okay.
You're on quarantine.
Martin Astor's pretty up
Doesn't-
there. Martin Astor's up there. Anna's okay. How the hell do you say that again? Anna Sidoria, Velvet's weapon. If you add mods to it to where they didn't disappear, that one would be pretty up there. Man. Oh my gosh. The long memory, Osmond's Cane. We don't know the full ability of its powers yet, so that one could be up there.
Nora watermelon weapon.
Penny's weapons, the floating swords are pretty up there.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Especially since they can shoot lasers.
Yeah. Fetch,
He's just gonna start
Meryl's
listing them
weapon,
off, guys.
which is pretty much a
streams. He just start ranting.
Fetch, which is pretty much a round trip and a rifle. Round trip, the move from Devil May Cry.
My
Stalwart.
man, the Devil May Cry stuff. I love it.
I'm a big fan. Big fan. Stalwart.
I need to cosplay Dante.
You do. Leonardo's weapon, Stalwart.
I'm working on Nero.
That weird mix and match element thing he had on his arm is pretty up there.
Ooh, Yang's arm. If she pulls off Nero's riding
Yeah.
move.
Vernal's weapons were pretty up there. They seemed like they had a lot of functionality. They did. Oh man. That's one thing that I do somewhat respect about Ruby. They go out of their, in most instances, they go out of their way to not make anything too ridiculous. If you get what I'm saying, like, well, I went back to saying X-Men powers before. They don't go out of like the closest thing to where they made it to where those things didn't make sense is Vine. He just has stretchy arms. That was the first time where I was like, you just made an X-Men character. Come on. That was
He's
the first
Mr.
time.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But since Raven wanted me to show it, that is one that I made for a character. It's pretty simple. It's basically like Raven's
I like bow and
quiver.
arrow.
You know,
And
I'm
then-
surprised we haven't seen something like that in the show yet. Besides a
wouldn't-
crossbow being the closest thing.
Yeah.
From
I'm,
Team
I
Indigo.
We had the sniper rifle, we had the crossbow, but yeah.
we haven't
Kind of makes me wonder. Like, I kind of want to see more of Raven's weapon to see what she can do with that, because we haven't seen it a whole lot, to be perfectly honest.
We need more
she'll
Team Stark.
show up again near the end of the show.
We need Team
Yes.
She'll get that near
All
the
the
end of
Team
the show.
Stark.
Ty better
Need
show
more
up too.
Kuro.
Just make a sub series. Just make a after Ruby finishes, make one about Stark.
They very easily could. They could just
That-
make it
Yes,
before
please.
this happened. Follow Team Stark.
That'll be the perfect spin-off series for them to do. If they're smart enough, they can make quite a bit of money off of that if they wanted to.
Oh, they
Just be like, yo, Stark,
Oh, I will
thank you.
buy all the merch.
they
I'll
All
buy
just
all
merch
the
is god.
merch.
Yep.
they just need a person to be a continuity person to make sure that if they're going to do a whole prequel series, that they're not messing up continuity, because it is the easiest thing to screw up without even trying. because you get something a week
It
or days off, you can start a domino effect of stupid crap that screws up everything. But anyway, we'll go to what other non-Ruby Rooster Teeth related content do you enjoy? I watch Funhouse religiously. I watched Funhouse when they were Inside Gaming, and then when they came over and became Funhouse, and I watch Always Open. That's me. Raven, go ahead. I think she froze.
Yeah, we all
Raven.
disappeared. Oh, there we are.
Aw.
We probably quit on her side. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's see. God dang it. Achievement Hunter stuff. It's a lot of stuff. And then straight up, I love Red vs. Blue. Who doesn't love Red vs. Blue? I watched it when I discovered it first came out as season 1. I accidentally found season 1 before it was a thing.
Nice.
So yeah.
Fox, go ahead.
I enjoyed Nomad of Nowhere. I kind of wish they'd make more of it.
It's different.
Other than that, Rage Quit is always fun to watch.
Yes, it is. Rage Quit's awesome. Did you see the RT Life about the offices above Michael's old office while he records
Yes.
Rage Quits?
Yes.
It's
That's I
it's
also love the
best.
RT Lives.
Yeah.
RT
RT Lives are good.
Lives.
Clover, go ahead.
Always Open. That's a great one. I just love to watch the podcast stuff in general. Funhouse is great. Love watching their stuff. And Screw Attack for like the death battle stuff.
Yeah.
That was pretty great.
What remains of Screw Attack?
Yeah, true.
Sadly.
So far. But yeah, and then just mainly the RT Life stuff. Just seeing them do all ridiculous and dumb things.
Nice. Yeah, they've all got good stuff. They've got a good variety of things, which I appreciate.
I do have to say anything also with Joel or Ryan. I do love both.
Joel does
The
not get enough
obsession
screen
grows.
time. Joel is awesome. All right. We'll do this one next. What type of Ruby game do you want? Mine is very specific. Very, very specific. I want a third-person action game made by Platinum. That is all I want. That is all I will ever care about. If I could go into specifics of people I want in creation more, but like in my head, it would be a Platinum game that kind of functions either like Metal Gear Rising, or if we wanted to do it, you could do it kind of like Horizon Zero Dawn. I know Platinum didn't make that, but they can make a game that somewhat functions like that. Platinum's just known for over-the-top, stupid, crazy, choreographed action, which would be right up the alley of what Ruby fans would want in a Ruby game. So weapon customization, you could level up your semblance depending on what character you pick to have different effects and stuff like that. And it just, other than that, the obvious one, since Arc System Works included people in cross-tag battle, I want a fighting game. I want one so bad.
We need it. We need it.
All right. Clover, go ahead.
As you were saying, a fighting game would be great. Something kind of like what they did with the whole Ruby cross-tag battle thing in Blaze Blue. That would be fantastic. Add more characters. Just add everyone, please.
Yep.
Crow. And then also probably like, I don't want to say RPG style. Maybe if they do it more actiony, a little more focused on the action to be over the top, like you were saying. But a third-person game would be great, and the option to either build your own character or choose an existing character from the show, and then you get your own like storyline from that, where it goes. But that would be fantastic.
It would be. Fox, go ahead.
Yeah, I do agree. Some kind of RPG would be pretty sweet. It'd be really difficult to make well, I think. So I think the safer option would be to avoid that altogether, though, to be perfectly honest. Horizon Zero Dawn is a good example. I think it'd be easy enough for that pretty much to almost just be reskinned. Of course, you'd want it to be like redone, but like it's close enough to the world of like not quite apocalyptic feeling, but kind of like in that region of things, and just I play a lot. I play some hack and slash MMOs as well. Like I play a bunch of different games, and one that particularly comes to mind is Vindictus by Nixon.
I've heard that before. I've not played it, but I swear I've heard that title before.
I think the Korean title for it was like Mabinogi Heroes or something like that.
Okay.
But something in that similar like hack and slash, but it's still an MMORPG. Like all of those. But one of the best like storylines I've ever played in the game was in that game right there.
Nice.
It was really story based hack and slash, like, but you could grind, you could level each of your skills, got more powerful as you put stuff into it. That would be really cool.
Nice. Raven, go ahead.
Open world concept. Straight up, do like World of Warcraft or RuneScape. Dear God, I love RuneScape.
You want
I
to talk
love
about
that
middle
game.
school? Holy crap!
Every day after school,
I went to the library because I didn't have good internet.
I was there.
Would anyone play it
still
if they did
play
it? This just came to mind. Never thought about it. Damn, girl. Would anybody play a turn-based Ruby game?
Mm,
Kind of
oh,
like
like
Final
Final
Fantasy?
Final
game?
Fantasy style. It'd
I
be
don't know if
possible, just not as hyped
fan of
on
turn-based.
action though. Kind of lose it. Yeah, you lose a little bit of the action greatness.
Yeah.
I'd say if they were to do it, do like Devil May Cry.
There you go.
Like-
Devil May Cry looks good.
I don't know. It just depends on what kind of genre you prefer. I think
It's every
really
time.
like
Hmm
Yeah.
yeah, because like I've always been more hack and slash or something that I can just like skill has to be involved. But that doesn't mean I haven't enjoyed strategy games or like those turn based games before. I'd have to see it, I guess.
Yeah.
Same.
The only
I
turn-based
definitely
game.
play it if they came out with it. But
Yeah. The only turn-based game I've been somewhat good at was Legends of Dragoon. I want a remake of that so bad. Here we go. We'll do another non-Ruby one. Do you have any hobbies and or passions? Raven, go first. Raven. Uh-oh.
she's frozen again.
Uh-oh. Clover, go ahead.
Guys,
No, I'm
not
sorry.
okay.
Oh, the question. Do you have any? Oh. Is she here?
Okay.
Never mind. She
We
go ahead.
lost you for a second. Go ahead. Any hobbies or passions? David, can you hear us?
Me or him?
No.
She was there for a
So
moment.
that's the end.
You.
Yeah, Raven.
You, Raven, go ahead.
Yes.
Yes. Can you hear us? Raven.
Oh wait.
Is it coming back?
Like for half second.
Call me a bad ex-husband if you can hear me. Come on. Yes.
Yes. I've been able
Okay. Do you have any hobbies or passions?
hear-
Yes. Go ahead.
to. I don't know what you guys are freaking out about.
Because you froze and we couldn't hear a word you were saying.
Do I need to back out?
Go ahead. Go try and back out and then join back in.
You suck. You suck.
I'm sorry. just try and join back in. That's all I gotta say. All right, Clover, go ahead.
For hobbies, basically drawing and artwork. That's a big thing. And then, oh, I think she's trying to get in there.
She gone full robot on us.
Yeah.
Then for passions, well, I do like I love this thing about paleontological sciences, paleontology in general.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
Say that was not what I was expecting, but that's awesome. Nice. That's cool. Fox, go ahead.
Games are always fun. Just recently started getting into painting figures. I just went and spent like upwards of like close to $150 on paints, trying to get into that.
Dang.
It always seemed cool to me, but like never actually took the time to do it until somewhat recently. Yeah, other than that, I play Magic the Gathering occasionally, and when I say occasionally, I mean very rarely, but I very much enjoy it when I do.
Nice.
So
Nice. Yeah. Games are a big thing. Cosplay, of course, and
I'd love to get into cosplay.
voice acting. I do Crow's voice, and everyone tells me it's really good, so I'm happy about that.
Nice. I would say, Fox, if you want to talk with somebody about helping with cosplay stuff, Clover, Salem, Summer, Raven, me to a very, very minuscule extent. I've cosplayed once and made nothing. So I bought all of it.
Yeah.
It's just that if you ever want to talk with stuff about that, they would gladly help. He helped me look for stuff with wigs. There are other things.
Of course.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
I'd
I think she's
definitely
coming
be
back
down.
now.
Yeah. For me, I do video editing. Like I said, I make mostly Ruby related content. I make crack videos and AMVs, stuff like that. I haven't made an AMV in a while. Like I had one AMV that took me 2.5 years to finish because my ambition just took a nosedive. Because crack videos are a lot easier to make than AMVs because timing them could be a bitch. Besides that, I've cosplayed a little bit, big into gaming. I do like movie reviews, stuff like that, with a buddy of mine on the channel that these get uploaded on as well. So on and off, do just random stuff. But whatever tickles your fancy. I don't have any huge passions. I want to do voice acting at some point. That'll go into the dream job stuff.
It's glorious.
All right. Raven, are you there and can you hear us?
I can
not looking at.
Hear you. Can you hear me?
We can, but you are breaking up real bad.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, crap. All right. We're going to head on to the next question.
All right.
It's getting down here, boys. All right.
Battle Royale style.
is.
Let's go.
All right. So if you could meet anyone from Crewbie, who would it be? I will go first. I think I'd very much like to meet Miles. I think I have a very similar personality to him. I do. Oh, it's again, hobbies. I forgot to mention. Me and Admin Crow have actually been writing Ruby-based fan fiction for about, I want to say 4 years at this point. So do that. We've been long since posting that. I would like to just talk over process of writing and stuff like that. That I think would be really cool. And I've met Kara and Aaron already. I would like to meet Barbara. I just think she'd be a hoot to get to talk to. So that's me. Fox, go ahead.
And that's a good question. To be perfectly honest, well, I've watched a lot of this stuff. I don't remember everybody by name. I know a couple of them, but one of my dreams, I guess, one of my goals is to get all of the Ruby comics signed by at least Team Ruby, and I'd love to meet all of them and do that. That would be cool.
Nice.
Other than that, though, yeah, they all seem like they'd be fun to meet and just hang out with for a little while.
Yeah, for sure.
Rabbits trying to get in the room.
I will tell you, if you go to an event and you meet one of the main four girls, typically they'll have their solo autograph things, and then on the side they have a stack of prints that they had the other three girls sign, and then they just personalize their signature for it. So if you want to get all four of them, normally if you meet one, you've got a way to get all four of them.
I will
let you know.
I might do that.
Yeah, Kara and Aaron, the people that voice Blake and Weiss, both times I met them, they had those as available options. So, yeah. Clover, go ahead.
I would have to say Miles, as you were saying, just because similar personality-wise, and he seems like he'd be a great person to hang out with.
Oh, yeah. Miles seems like a hoot. Miles is just, for anyone that doesn't know, Miles and Carrie are the two main writers on the show. Miles is just in writing. I don't think he's directed any episodes, and Carrie is one of their head directors. And Miles voices, wow, did I just blank out? John. And Carrie voices Neptune. All right, we get that out of there. We're getting down to the wire here. All right. Now the Raven's gone. Unfortunately, we can't talk about it. I know who she'd say. At least I know who Summer'd say. One of my favorite side characters, just because it is Forrest. He was hilarious for the 3 episodes that we had him. I got the biggest kick out of him. And other than that, Maria's pretty good. Getting a kick out of her. Really like Pietro. And I guess we're going to call them side characters Coco, since she was not technically an essential team member. So that's just me. Clover, go ahead.
A favorite side character. I would say Crow, but he's more of a main cast. So
Yeah, I'd say he's main cast.
yeah, he's a main cast. I would go with Gira actually. I just like how he's the whole like fatherly and like really good father to, his family. He doesn't have very many flaws, it seems,
No.
and he's just kind of a cool character to just have.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Fox.
Fiona for sure. First time you see her when they're spying on them. I think it like the earliest was episode 2. I think you see a glimpse of them. Like from that moment, I was like, "Oh, that is the coolest character design I've seen this entire show." Like, not to hate on any other characters, but just like absolutely loved her from the moment she hit the screen. Was looking around for her name, found it in the credits in one of them, and from there it's just like, yes.
She is very adorable looking.
I want
She's very
to
cute.
see more of that character right there. Yeah.
Maria is great too, just because the whole lore of Crow actually getting inspired by her.
Yeah, she was good. Tak was another one that we got to see for like 6 minutes, but she
Such
was
an
awesome.
OP semblance too for 60
That's
seconds.
one OP character. Tak semblance is OP as hell if used in the correct circumstances. It's only 60
Yeah.
seconds, but my lord. And
As
that's
well
one-
as Hazel.
Hazel. That is
I
very
mean,
true.
Fiona's is also pretty busted too. Like when you really
Oh,
think
yeah.
about it.
I totally forgot about hers. She's literally like a black hole.
It's like straight up pocket dimension. Like, can she stuff people in there? That's the real question.
True. We don't know.
I never did think about that.
And to
Those are
argue,
good rules.
maybe Crow, since he can hit vital spots with bad luck
Bad luck
or
yeah.
fortune in
then-
general. But
Clovers would be another one in that aspect.
Mhm. since it falls under pretty much the same category.
Not just versus, yeah, man. That was another one. When we talked about nailing fairy tales right on the head, Tak was another one that was about as on the nose as you could get. 60-second minute semblance. It was a crocodile faunus. It was called
That's true.
Tak, for crying out loud. Yeah. All right. What do we got? Just got that one out of there. All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. All right. Dream jobs. Before we started writing Ruby fan fiction, a good chunk before that, I actually started writing a comic that is somewhat similar to how I believe it was Fox described how people get their powers. It was kind of like X-Men, but a different thing where an event happened and then based on the people that got affected, their personalities like affected how they got powers. Like one person, and it was random as hell that they tried to keep it as part of their personality. Like one of them turned into their D&D character that they were obsessed with, that they had in a game that they played. Another person felt like he was an outcast that no one noticed so that he could turn invisible. There was just random stuff like that. I'd love to be a comic book writer, or I would love to be a voiceover artist. Those are my two. Fox, go ahead.
I want to be a teacher. Pilot
Nice.
would be cool too. Not really relevant to teaching, but like out of the two dream jobs I could have, I'd rather be a teacher. Yeah, probably teaching high school. Just had some good influences in that time of my life, and just would love to do that for somebody else.
I went to college for instructional assistance, so I would be technically a teacher's aide, but the pay was not the greatest, so that's sadly.
That's the downside. That's why I haven't really gotten into it a whole lot. Like doing it would be awesome. Getting paid for it, not so much.
Yeah, payment and benefits are not at what it should be for the job that you're doing.
Yeah.
Clover, go ahead.
Voice actor.
Nice.
That would be the big one. As a kid, though, childhood, it wasn't voice acting. It was being a paleontologist. But voice acting would be the much more better route, in my opinion.
We might be getting
It'd
Raven
be a lot
back.
more fun.
Yeah, we might be getting Raven back.
Oh, yeah.
Are you good?
I
don't know,
need to
can you hear
grab
me and
my
see
charger
me?
for my
We
laptop.
we can hear you now.
It's dying.
Ow!
So I am gonna do that real quick. So you'll lose me for like just a second.
That's fine.
Grab my charger.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Meh.
As far as voice acting goes and like getting a bunch of stuff done, I have to share a story about the coolest, just like when you go to these conventions and you get signatures from people, normally they have like one or two of their main things that you can get signed. Steve Bloom was at the last convention that I went to. And this is the most dedicated dude to making sure that you're getting your characters signed that you want. Behind him was these crates, these like Tupperware crates. He had like 7 of them. So I'm just like, oh, okay, everyone normally has those, and it's just of multiple pictures of everybody that you wanted. And it's normally like the main 3 or 4. Steve Bloom's in everything. I mean, legitimately everything. And then he had this binder on his desk, and I'm like, what's that? He's like, who you want? He's got it here. I'm flipping through this. He had like 60 people available if you wanted it signed. I was like, holy crap. I was like, I didn't even know he was in that. What are we? It's a little side story, but Steve Bloom's awesome. If you ever get to meet him, he's the best. And it made me so mad. I'm a huge fan of Gurren, but I did not, like I said, I did not know that he voiced Leron Littner. And I didn't realize until I was out of the convention and that I saw him using his voice from the English dub to say lines as his other characters. If you've never watched English dub of Gurren, Leron has a voice and a half, and Steve Bloom is freaking hilarious. But, all right. Raven, since you're in here now, what's your dream job?
Well, I left it in the chat too, but it's
Oh,
to
yeah,
be a
you said-
teacher.
Teacher, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what I'm working on right now. I'm actually in my second to last semester, if school ever will happen again, of teaching.
Nice.
All right,
Yeah.
and I am back.
Nice.
Oh no! Quick, stop
Cool.
talking about him.
All right. Hopefully we got a steady connection for everybody. We've got 5 left.
My phone connects better for some reason than my computer.
It all depends. Sometimes it's just that direct connections, all that, and it's just the
My
internet
phone
is
hates
not
this,
clear.
so I had to go to the laptop instead.
That's what Ren, when he was trying to get on it, originally used his phone and couldn't get on. Then he tried this time, and it's just
Yeah.
technology. Gotta love it. All right. If you could have, okay, there we go. If you could have any weapon from the show, what would it be? I'm assuming this is just a replica. We're just going to go off replica rules and not having the actual freaking weapon. And so this is going on fully functional, like in its transformations and everything. I badly wanted, and I'm going to try to pronounce this, but I'm probably not going to. It's an Italian chocolate. That's all I know. Gianduja? I think it's Coco's purse.
You want a man
Just-
purse?
I do. Funny story behind this. Coco was my one of my like favorite crushes from the show. Probably was my favorite crush. Pierre's my favorite character, but I had a mad crush on Coco for a while, and it's Harriet now. But the first Comic-Con that I ever went to, Admin Crow was with us, and we split off. And he messages me from the other side of the con saying that he met a Coco cosplayer that has a fully spinning, rotating, like Gatling gun. I'm like, what? So then I ran over and found him. It was a guy cosplaying as Coco. I was like, you just ruined my dreams, man. He made sure not to tell me that also. He knew I was going to be irritated. But this dude had freaking stiletto 6-inch heels on. He was fully dedicated. And then the next day he came in as Roman. I was like, couldn't wear those lady killers all day, could you? He's like, dude, my feet were killing me 5 minutes into wearing those. I'm like, no kidding. But
It's like me and my Ash cosplay. I couldn't wear those boots.
oh, no, thank you. And it was hard enough wearing those boots for Nero. I forgot to break those boots in before that convention. Oh, it was not fun.
Not
All right.
fun.
Raven, go ahead.
Gotta have Clovers. Gotta have his fishing line.
Kingfisher, I think it's called.
I think it's Kingfisher. Gotta have it. I love it.
Nice. That thing's ridiculous. All right. Fox, go ahead.
I know this is very generic. Crescent Rose has always been like one of the most iconic weapons to me. One of the coolest ones. I'd love to get a replica made for it. I'm planning on doing that at some point when I've got the money for it. If it could transform, that'd be even better because the physics involved with transforming some of these weapons are kind of kind of ridiculous. Coco, for example.
Yeah, that one
But
makes
yeah.
no sense. I'll fully admit. People have made fully transforming Crescent Roses. I have seen them, not in person, but I've seen videos of them. And I will tell you,
Yeah, no,
the person that made my Red Queen, if you go on my Facebook, if you want to look at it, it's insanely high quality. Decode Designs out of Texas. The dude makes insanely good work for a good rate, and he'll work with you on payments. Look him up. He's awesome. Super
Yeah.
easy to work with.
I'd love to do that because that would be one of the coolest things if I could just stick it on my wall or something. If once I have
Yeah.
a wall to stick it on.
Yeah. He's really good. Let's see. Clover, go ahead.
Harbinger, which I actually have, of course, the replica of for cosplay. It does not transform, sadly, but it's just in the great sword form. But yeah, Harbinger, it's got everything I love: scythe, shotgun, and great sword.
Nice. Another one that probably
From the
wouldn't
guy
be
who constantly wants to get to upgrade it.
Hey, if you could get one that
he kind of got
transformed,
the
it'd be
upgrade.
awesome. Yeah.
He kind of did. Oh wait, me
You
upgrading?
want the
Yes,
upgrade.
I do want the upgrade to scythe, so I could do more pictures.
That is again going back to Decode. He made the full scythe. That sword he made for me is 6.5 feet tall. Mine is the second biggest build that he's made. I think he said that Crescent Road he made was 8 feet tall, or the Harbinger that he made was 8 feet tall and full scythe. That thing's nuts. It is
Nice.
so big. Like, look up his Facebook page. He's got I'm pretty sure it's a picture of him in his cosplay with that thing. And I think that guy is like, he's a taller guy. I want to say he's just below 6 feet, and that thing towers over him. All right. Hide that one. 4 questions left. And they're all right. This is the last non-Ruby question, so we'll get into it. What is your favorite video game series / what makes it special to you? I've said more than enough about it. I've got 2 favorite series. It's Resident Evil and Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry is just stupid ridiculous. It doesn't need to make sense. It's just over the top, just cocky people taunting monsters, having a good time. And Hideki Kamiya. No, wait. I said that completely wrong. Kamiya is the guy who made the first one. DMC 5. Itsuno. Yeah, Hideki Itsuno is what made DMC 5. And I believe it was his quote where you're in a slasher film, but you're playing the slasher. So that's how he described it. I always thought that was so cool. The abilities and all that, the monster concepts and all that. And then Resident Evil, I started with 5. The stuff started to go down the hill one. It's not that bad. It's just slightly racist in certain points. But just the concept of all of it, the characters are great. The story it fully acknowledges that it's dumb. So I'm okay with it when it gets dumb. But like the game, the puzzle aspects, all that. But my favorite game of all time, up until when Horizon Zero Dawn came out, was Banjo-Tooie for 13 years. Horizon Zero Dawn, I love archery. I'm not into archery, but I love playing archery in video games. It's always just nailing a shot with a bow in a video game to me. When it's done right to me, there's not a whole lot of more satisfying things. And all the mechanized animals, the guy who made all of the machines in there openly admitted that he was inspired by his designs by Zoids, which is my second favorite anime of all time. So that pulled at my heartstrings immediately. And just how it's all done, how you take everything down, the gear and stuff that you have, it's awesome. Like I said, I would love a Ruby game like Horizon Zero Dawn. It would be amazing. That's just me. Fox, go ahead.
Favorite video game series and what makes it special to you? If I'm going for like pure nostalgia factor, Mabinogi, I think it was one of like my first posts where I just like had made the Ruby characters in that game. I used to play that a bunch when I was young, and just like it's one of those games that I go back to every so often. Just I'll see something and it'll remind me, and I'll go back and play it. Just super chill game. It's got fun combat. It's got like a bunch of customization or whatnot. Just overall, like pretty much whatever you feel like doing, you can go and do in that game. Vindictus is really good for the storyline. That's, as I mentioned, one of the best storylines I've ever played through.
Nice.
Yeah, those are the two main ones, both by the same company. I don't know how much I like the company themselves, but the games they make are pretty cool. So
nice. Clover, go ahead.
personal favorite game series would have to be BioShock and Devil May Cry. I had a huge obsession with BioShock Infinite when it came out. Love that game and love the storytelling in it. For nostalgia, I would have to say Resident Evil series, because I started on that way back when it was on the PlayStation 1 with Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3. And my dad used to play that when I was a kid, and just growing up with it, and then now seeing the remakes of it, it's great. I love it.
3 comes out next weekend.
I know.
Ah,
It's coming out. I need it.
I can't wait. Joe looks so damn
I want
good.
to cosplay Carlos. I love Carlos's new look, besides the really shaggy hair.
It works. I just hope he's less of a dork. My lord, he was one where I was like, dude, you need to stop talking.
I feel like he's going to be he'll probably be a bit better as we see more of it.
They said they streamlined to make his personality to be less of a doofus this time, so I'm hoping. All right, Raven, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Pokemon.
Nice.
If you see my video game collection, it's like 99% Pokemon and 1% of everything else. Because I have owned every single game since the beginning, excluding 3 different titles that I don't own. But I own every game.
Nice. That's all good.
I did actually have one more thing I thought of while we were talking.
Go ahead.
Soma. It's a psychological
Soma?
horror game.
Yep.
Yeah. One of the best games I have ever played. Highly recommend it. Even if you're not into horror games, it's got a little bit of jump scares here and there, but for the most part, it's just really interesting. Makes you think a lot.
I did not play it myself, but I watched 2 best friends do a Let's Play of it. Soma's awesome. I will fully agree with you on that.
Last of Us was a great game back on PS3.
Yes, that
Fantastic game.
we can only get one of them a console generation, unfortunately. So
Yep.
freaking wait till whenever it comes out for the PS4. It's coming up. All right. We'll do that one. This one will be pretty simple. What is your favorite team from the show that isn't Team Ruby or Juniper? Mine, obviously, is Coffee. I love all of them. Fox's weapon name, in my opinion, is Hot Trash. But other than that, I love everything about them. Sharp Retribution. I'm like, you could not have tried any harder. Come on. But other than that, that's just me. Raven, go ahead.
Oh, you already know. Team Stark.
I was about to say it's Indigo, right?
No, that or yeah, Team Stark. Every other one was like, eh.
Yes, it is good. All right. Fox, go ahead.
I do agree with you, Team Coffee. It's mainly Coco and Velvet. They seem to be the faces, and they're just enjoyable. Fox is cool, Yatsashi's cool, but like that whole team is just one of those, like, another one I'd love to see a spin-off series of. I know they did the After the Fall and whatnot, but
It's
I'd
really
love to see
good.
more.
The book is really good. You get a lot of
You get
backstory
it.
about all of them. Yatsu's one of my favorite members on the team now that I've read that book.
Yeah, I'll
No.
probably go and order it later today. Actually, I've got to go do some shopping online. That's probably one of the things I'll grab.
Going back to OP semblances, Yatsu's got one of them. He can delete memories.
Oh, all
That's
right.
a semblance. Fox is a telepath, and Yatsu can delete semblances, and he is very cautious against doing it because he does to what extent he deletes them. It can be like partial or permanent, and he likes to not do it unless it's absolutely necessary. That's one I forgot is OP as hell. All right. There's actually quite a few OP semblances in that book now that I'm thinking about it, but I won't spoil them because they're plot details. And then Clover, go ahead.
Team Stark. Just the
Yeah,
original badasses who are now, if brought back together, would be veteran badasses. So, and any chance I get to love on Crow, just any Crow screen time. But I would love to see more Raven too, though. Raven is great, and Ty and Summer, of course. We need them. We need the whole team.
Summer is great. I would just anything from Summer would be awesome.
I just
All right.
remembered another team. Yeah, I love the Aesops.
The Aesops are good. I will admit I
don't
mostly
have-
just like Harriet, but
Clover, we're good. So we're good.
all right. Here's a good one. What Ruby-related merch item do you wish to exist? I've wanted this, I want to say, for like 3 freaking years now. RT will not come out with it. I don't know why, because they could make it dirt cheap and sell a shat load of them. In one of the Ruby Chibi episodes, there is a poster in the background. It's that stupid cat on a yarn thing that says hang in there, and it's Blake hanging from the yarn. I want it
Yes.
so bad, but they won't sell it. I don't know why.
I think that the original poster design is actually copyrighted. That's why. Yeah.
Either way, God, I want that poster so bad. All right, Clover, go ahead.
They tease this, and you can find the image of it through Murder Birds YouTuber. But the dark
Oh.
is my screen too bright? No.
Yes.
Is a little bit.
Hold on. Let me turn that down. There we go. The
Oh,
crow
the
figurine
crow figure.
that has been
Oh.
teased and is yet to come out. I need it. I will pay whatever they want for it. I need it. It needs to be a thing.
Please make it happen so he would shut up.
You feel about that how I feel about those new I can't remember what exactly the series name is, but the statues of I believe they're 8 art fix of Nero and Dante. I want them so bad.
Oh, I've seen them. They are expensive.
But they're so pretty.
They
Okay.
I would love
are what
them. I would
Nero.
love a Dante one.
Fox, go ahead.
I'd like to point out before what I'd like created. I love the fact that they made the pumpkin Pete cereal.
Yes.
Like that is I saw that walking through a store one day and I was like, no way. Like, is this am I dreaming here? What's going on?
Yep.
Just one of the funniest things they could have done. I just love the fact that they did it. I would honestly just love replicas of little dust things that they have, like in the first episode where you they go to steal the dust and it just shows you all the different types.
They have
just,
they have
the
necklaces
case
on
that I
Hot
could throw
Topic
them.
that look like the dust crystals.
Like
I know this
that would be
Clover got me
really
one.
cool. Like if it was an official just Rooster Teeth case of dust. That would just be a really cool simple thing that they could do easy enough. And I totally get it.
That would be cool. I'd like that.
Yeah.
They kind of it's kind of like the keys that they made for that you can find people that make for Resident Evil. But Raven, go ahead.
So, oh god. So the only merch they haven't created yet is anything. Well, there's only one thing they created for Tai Yang, but can we get a Tai Yang T-shirt?
I'm shocked they haven't made a Chibi T-shirt for him.
They haven't. The only thing they created was a patch set that was labeled as Yang, and it had Tai Yang's semblance, like his symbol in it. That was it.
Huh.
It was the only Tai Yang merch I have ever seen. Can we just get a T-shirt, please?
It
I mean,
did.
we got a summer T-shirt. At least give him a T-shirt. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
It did take until right before Pura died before we got a Pura T-shirt. They're really good at giving us merchandise for a character that is about to die. Just going to point that out. I've noticed that as a trend. All right.
So he's asking, do you really want that Tai Yang merch? That's the real question.
How much do you
It's a
want
give
that
and
Tai
take.
Yang merch? Exactly.
My first cosplay for Ruby that I ever dedicated my time to make was a Tai Yang cosplay, and that's one of my I will still pull it out of the closet and wear it.
Nice. That was pretty good. All right. Last question. Your favorite Ruby episode?
Fudge.
Mm,
I will admit, I just like all the episodes. There's not ones that really stuck, all the moments in it were good. Like each one has an amazing moment to pick out. I can tend to be a very emotional person, and Pura has always been and probably always will be my favorite character. So I had to pause the video or the episode when it was chapter 9 of volume 6 Lost, when they found Pura's tribute statue in the middle of that town. I turned into a miserable crying mess, like snot bubbles, crying bad. It was horrible. And then her mom approaches them and they finally give Pura the send off about how she wasn't made an official huntress, but she was a huntress no matter what. And they go through the explanation of all that. I was just and then the last episode of volume 6, was really good. That montage leading up to them revealing Summer, Crow almost fainted. Like, he was just that hit him in the face. He's like, what? Then both of us, two grown men, I'm almost 30. He's about to be 27, turned into blobs of tears in this room right here in this spot. But for probably their most well-written episode, the chapter 6 alone, when they have the apathy, that was really good. When they're going through, everyone's like just disheveled, and like Blake tells them it's fine when the apathy are coming after them, and freaking Maria like jump starts Ruby's eyes to get her to shoot everyone away. It was just like, you could tell that they talked about that they've had this episode planned since the show started, and you could tell there was a lot of care built up into that. But man, it was awesome. Fox, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was trying to think of like individual episodes. Like I can think of individual scenes that I really enjoyed, or like whole arcs or whatnot. There are certain episodes that I definitely would say like are up there in my favorites, like the one that with the fight with the Aesops between Team Ruby. Like that I very much enjoyed that episode. But at the same time, I will admit I didn't enjoy the whole Tyrion Crow Clover fight a whole lot. That wasn't one of my favorite scenes in the show. But like that episode was pretty up there. Like outside of that for me, honestly, I also want to just kind of say that the trailers, like the original trailers, they're not episodes, but like the red trailer. The yellow trailer, like those are both like amazing. I love those. So
Yep.
It's probably my best answer.
No, I would take that. That like I said, that red trailer, that might be the most put into work episode early on that they've ever done. You could tell that Monty was like, guys, I want to make this a thing. Please love the thing. I put my entire body into this. Please. Raven, go ahead.
It would have to be the season finale of 6, where Summer first made her appearance. What meant so much to me was 1 month prior to that episode, I created my Summer Rose cosplay and did photos with Clover here. And I saw the episode before Clover and Summer, and like I had to keep my mouth shut all day because it's like, guys, Summer, they showed Summer. And like I was just like shocked, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't think they were actually gonna do it. It's yeah,
it was really good. That whole build up. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. How the sound cuts when they finally show her. It's so good. Clover, go ahead.
For me, it's a tie between 2 episodes. One would be Volume 4, Episode 7, Punished. With the whole thing with Weiss, and then also the Crow and Tyrion fight, to be obvious with it. And seeing Crow going out like almost all out for the first time, getting like a full fight scene of him that isn't just joking around like him with Winter. That was great. That was fantastic. And then the new volume 7, episode 11, I believe, with the whole Ironwood and Watts fight scene, and getting to see that, and then also the story for that. Just the writing in that episode was fantastic. It hit like pretty emotionally as well. And also with the whole fight scene with Clover, Crow, and Robin fighting Tyrion, and just seeing Tyrion get mopped on the floor by all of them is fantastic. And just seeing Crow destroying him, that was great. I love that.
Every time I think about that scene, it's awesome. Like, my favorite thing that they've ever done with Crow's weapon is when they turn it into a Tonfa.
Yes.
But like every time I watch that scene, I cannot just think of how, in my mind, other than at the last second, Robin was the most useless bump on a log ever. She was just like, uh-oh, distraction. Uh-oh, distraction.
True. I mean, Crow was doing most of the work there.
Get in there, come on! But yeah. That was one of those fights where one thing that pissed me off quite a bit that Rooster Teeth did was for 3 volumes straight. In the trailers, we saw Emerald and Weiss fighting. You know who's never fought once? Emerald and Weiss. Not a single freaking time. And then they showed that fight scene between Tyrion, Crow, and then Tyrion, Crow, and Robin in the trailer or the intro, and then I'm like, oh, I swear on my soul, that's another one of those stupid, they just show a fight scene, the pack open the opening, and then they just did it. They flipped it a little, plus that Clover in it, so I was like, oh, they just did it, they just swapped it. They're just doing what most animes do, where they just put stuff in there and they're like, it might be in the show, it might not, or it might just be tweaked a little. But yeah. All right.
I was hoping so hard on that it would be a thing. And it was. It was quick too, sadly. Not as big of a fight, but it was good.
It was good.
Short and sweet.
It did show that when you have 3 people that are not being stupid, that the fights, if it's 3-on-1, should end really fast. But yeah, that was it. All right. We originally were supposed to have 6 people in this thing. 1 got exited out really fast. Then we lost Velvet. And it was down to 3 for a while. We got back up to 4. This was fun. We're going to attempt to do these monthly. If Facebook algorithms like to be kind, hopefully we can get more from the Facebook group. Everybody, thank you very much for joining me, considering there's not a whole lot to do in the outside world with all the greatness that's going on. At least we could connect and talk through here. All right. Fox, this is not something that I forgot to tell you about. So typically on this last part here, I like to give like 10 seconds to people to kind of shout out stuff that they're doing, things that they're a part of, whatever. So just basically, we'll let you go last if you want to think of something to shout out or whatever.
I can go first, or no, you go first. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, me? Okay.
Go ahead.
So you, since I've done this before more than once, again, you guys can find me here on Facebook and over on Instagram as Fiery Summers Cosplay.
Me, pretty much everything involving Organoid Zero. Hopefully by next weekend, I will have my Twitch channel going. I got all the graphics and stuff that I wanted to get done, so hopefully I'll be streaming Resident Evil 3 next weekend. Again, at Organoid Zero, literally YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even though I hate that freaking application. Everywhere! Clover, go ahead.
You can find me at Tipsy Crow Cosplay on Instagram and Facebook.
Nice. Anything you want to shout out, Fox? If you don't, that is perfectly fine.
I do stream. I haven't recently. My rabbit chewed through my headphones, and
Oh,
I need
no.
to get a good. So yeah, so until those are replaced, and like the internet here is kind of iffy. But I do stream. My name on Twitch is Glassletter, GLASLETTER.
Nice.
So I do that pretty regularly as well. Of course, when I've got headphones and the internet is not killing it. So.
Yeah. Now's not a great time for anybody trying streaming. So I'm hoping I can at least be okay next weekend. Otherwise, it's going to be. But all right, that's everybody. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in when they did. It was mostly just admins, but you know, crap happens. You guys will see this because it'll be archived on the page. So, toodaloo, everybody. See you next time.
See you.